Hello, you guys know I love to give you a shout out every now and then. My name is Donna McGowan and I am the CEO of Woman of Now. And we are so excited to have Michelle Robinson on the platform today for our 7 weeks of courage. Michelle is, oh my goodness, a media mogul, author, speaker, and as a woman, I know one of her favorite roles, mother. So Michelle, thank you for being here today. I know your schedule is full and we so appreciate you taking time out for us.
Wow, it's an honor to be with you, Donna. I absolutely adore and love you so much.
Well, Michelle has such a plethora of wisdom for us as women. We're just going to pull on a little bit of it today and we're going to get more. I know you have a phenomenal conference coming up, Shine Like a Boss. Also, her amazing book, Overcoming the 7 Deadly Emotions. Ladies, you have to get this book. And so, Michelle, what I want to ask you today, what was one of the most important qualities in your experience that sustained you and helped you walk through where you were then to where you are now?
Well, and Donna,
feel free to elaborate because we know you've walked through a lot. Feel free.
I don't think there's, all the great leaders I've met in my life have been men or women who have overcome. I mean, they've overcome great obstacles, and I'm no different. So I'm definitely I say that just to really encourage anybody that's watching right now that if you're going through a hard time, here some of the key things that God has taught me in my walk to get through those seasons is to really not try to focus on the future or focus on tomorrow, but focus on what's right in front of you. It's real easy to start thinking about failure and disappointment, and you can really stay stuck in those deadly emotions, right? And if you stay stuck, you're not really able to succeed and do all the things that He's purposed you to do. And there's going to be times in our life. I say you keep leading while you're bleeding. There's moments where, and I'm not talking about ICU when you're in intensive care and you can't function. I mean, that's different. Then you need to get the help you need. But if you're just going through life's challenges, which we all go through. I mean, even this morning I called Donna and said, I've had a crazy morning. Forgive me. My son just had an accident last week. I've faced lots of challenges in my business. Every day there's challenges. There's just, you're going to wake up some days and it's going to go smooth, and some days you're going to wake up and it just hits you in the face. And so I would just say, Donna, that really for me is really saying, I'm going to fight. And a lot of times we want to lie down, right? We want to say, I give up.
Now is not the time to give up, right? Now is not the time to lie down.
Now is not the time to lie down, and it's not the time to give up. And I'm not, look, we've all had our moments where I always say I get one day to feel sorry for myself. And that's if I'm going through something major, right? But I just do not allow circumstances to dictate my joy.
Yes.
Or to dictate my ability to press through.
Yes.
And that's all related to emotion, right?
Yes.
And when I was young, in my 20s and 30s, I would say the challenge for me at those ages was to not allow. I mean, I was very emotional. I'm a very emotional person. I'm passionate, sensitive. I love life, but I also, at a young age, emotions would get me. And that's why I wrote that book, Overcoming the 7 Deadly Emotions, was because I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn how not to allow, we're going to have fear, we're going to have doubt, we're going to have stress, we're going to have anger, but we don't let them control our lives. When it's controlling you is when it can take you out.
Yes, I love what you're saying because, we know God has emotions because we're created in His image, and He gave us as women emotions. And what you're saying, if I'm hearing correctly, it can be a powerful tool because I have to tell you guys, Michelle is passionate, and in every area, passionate as a friend, passionate in business, passionate. She is the woman you want to have on your side. And so that passion is a powerful tool for her. But at the same time, she knows how to rear it back and not allow it to take her into a realm like with her son. She is here today, and I know he recently just had the accident, and so she knows, you know what, Lord, it's going to be good. But I love what you said about not allowing emotions to dictate your day, and we take control of our day, and we allow joy. And we know joy is not happy, is not being happy. Joy is a force, you guys, that's on the inside of you. And if you allow that force to dwell up, it will keep everything else at bay. Michelle, that's so powerful. So what if, you could tell the women of now, is there anything particular you'd want to tell some of the women on our platforms today, and even our men, because I know sometimes men need to hear from women as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, in doing a lot of the research I did for that book, since you brought that book up, the two greatest challenges that women struggled with, thanks times, were women and men. What they struggled with in just doing my research was shame and fear. Those are the two greatest deadly emotions. Now, rooted in that is pride. There's a lot of pride, believe it or not. God talks so much about pride in the Bible. And pride is something we don't really think about as that's such a sinful thing, as being prideful. But God hates pride. He absolutely hates it. And he hates it because it says, I'm greater than God.
Yes.
It says, I know more than God. It says, I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to walk in myself instead of walking in things that God has for me, right? So that's when we're prideful, when it's about our ego and it's about us. Fear, the thing about fear is that we're going to have a lot of irrational thoughts. That's just, especially women, we think, we can suddenly immediately go down a road about something, and it's not real. It's just something we've made up in our mind. We've imagined it. And there's a lot of irrational fear, and then there's real fears, but regardless, fear, that's the opposite of everything that God is.
Yes.
Because, and so when you're stepping out and you're going to press through and you're working through trials, you absolutely have to let go of fear. You can't have one foot in the door of fear and one foot in the door of faith. Honestly, it is an absolute, there's just no way. You have to be all in with faith. And you have to say, I'm going to press through, I'm going to believe, and I'm going to trust God. And it's really relinquishing all those fears and those unmet expectations and those disappointments and all of the irrational thoughts having, and saying, you know what? I know something greater. I know someone greater. And God is greater, and his ways are greater. And